ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बाल करें शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
Bangladesh, their strike rate is low, very low.
Yeah, those numbers are probably skewed a bit because of the stiff conditions they do face at home. But generally speaking, you think to the sides that are really challenging in this ICC Champions Trophy, that they're teams that can gather momentum through the middle. You want to be down around where Sri Lanka is there, that strike rate 80, 90 plus, over a run of ball type stuff. And then rely on that, what you were saying before, Nas, just who is going to be that benchmark player in the final 10 with the platform.
Guess he brought Mamadullah in, that he's got the experience, not fast through the middle, but more accelerates in those last 10. So if he has a platform and you feel like he's been around for a very, very long time, he's their power striker through the middle. But Rashad as well, we know he's a good striker of the ball. You've got to give yourself a chance, and 10 overs at the end, 40 to 50 is such a longer time than what you actually feel as a batting unit. Well, the key for that from a batting against spin through the middle is how you can score off as many balls as you can, and it means that you don't feel like you have to search for that boundary option. You score one boundary and then score off a number of deliveries. That's how you can push those 300 plus scores, and you feel like you got rhythm in your innings and you're able to accumulate. But at the moment, just the dot balls against spin through the middle for Bangladesh has been challenging. You both had to shell through the top order. Was it hard work through the middle for you both after 10 overs?
On a serious note, it is the best time to bat, is in the top order. Fielding restrictions, pace on, ball is hard. And it was part of my career, what made me cross about myself, was you get through that and then you give your wicket away. Once you get through that, it is criminal to give your wicket away when it gets tough in the middle overs. You know, I got 40 off 40 over to you, and then spin is on, the field is out, pressure's building. You look at the best players, they bat through.
Yeah, that was Nasser saying pulling the ripcord out of the back of the plane. No worries. It is tough. It's the one time that you hear top order players concede in the middle order. It's so much easier to come in those middle phases when you're 40 or 50 not out, as opposed to starting.
Doesn't time that.
मैजिक सिर्फ तब है जब साथ सब हो। कोका-कोला यकीन की जीत है। सिंजेंटा इस अभियान दे फसल को फौरी तवानाई और ग़िज़ाइयत। इस अभियान है जादू का चिराग।
गोल्डन पर्ल मैक्स लाइट मेंस फेस वॉश, फेस रहे फ्रेश, क्लीन और ब्राइट। गोल्डन पर्ल मैक्स लाइट मेंस फेस वॉश, लेट योर फेस ग्लो।
Grown Extreme, take a fresh start.
पाकिस्तान के जदीद तरीन प्लांट पर बनी खादें, सरसब्ज की नाइट्रोफॉस और कैन, जिनसे मिले 10% से भी ज्यादा इजाफी पैदावार।
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
Wow, very impressive grip. Service Tires is a game changer. Service Tires, Pakistan's global tire brand.
New, stronger Pepsi.
मैजिक सिर्फ तब है जब साथ सब हो। कोका-कोला
जीत है।
Golden Pearl Beauty Cream. बात बन जाए.
New, stronger Pepsi.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ। कोक उठाओ, स्कैन करो, कोड के साथ डिटेल्स व्हाट्सएप करो और फ्री मैच टिकट्स या ढेरों कोक प्राइजेस जीतने का मौका पाओ। कोका कोला, यकीन की जीत है।
Golden Pearl Beauty Cream. बात बन जाए.
रुको, छू जाती है हर अच्छी बात, चल मेरे लाल।
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
Magnificent 133.
Yes, Beastie, lovely boy. Lovely Beastie.
Just picking up that discussion, Marta, that you tongue-in-cheek announced, but it's a really interesting discussion because it's a strategy discussion. So do you value your top order players getting into the back half, into that final power play? Or is it just the importance around the first 10 or 15 overs with foot to the floor stuff on tracks that are conducive to batting with two white balls? And for mine, it's a bit of a mix of the composition of the team, Nas. If you've got guys like Freddie, for example, batting behind you, or Andrew Simons coming in batting behind us as a pair, it just becomes compelling that you mount your risk.
Yes, Beastie.
Go, right, well, I'm going to throw caution to the wind. Might not be. And bear in mind, folks, this was in days where we had one white ball as well. So ball getting soft in that kind of 25 to 35 over mark, where it became a little tricky to go hit the big ball.
Yeah, so good, Beastie.
So you do throw a bit of caution to the wind because you've got that protection in your late to middle order. And when you think of the composition of New Zealand, you know, they've got some really great power hitters. South Africa the same. Most teams actually, you know, they bat deep.
Yes, Beastie. Yes, boy.
So the case for someone like Shanto, he's done a great job here. He's set up the power play number one, remaining not out. Now when does he put his trust in his late middle order? Muhammadullah, obviously, you know, a player that can strike the ball nicely.
So good, Beastie. So good, boy.
Bracewell, beautiful again.
जैसे मिले नॉन-स्टॉप स्ट्रीमिंग के सुपर पावर।
तो अभी जैज की वीकली X+ ऑफर लगाओ और बेफिक्र होकर चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी देखो तमाशा पर।
पाकिस्तान के जदीद तरीन प्लांट पर बनी खादें, सरसब्ज की नाइट्रोफॉस और कैन, जिनसे मिले 10% से भी ज्यादा इजाफी पैदावार।
इस क्रिकेट सीजन मैच के दौरान लाइट जाने पर अपने टीवी को तोड़ने से गुरेज करें। जोंग मंथली प्रो मैक्स प्लस लगाएं और देखें फ्री क्रिकेट ऑन माई जोंग ऐप थ्रू माइको।
आ गई और छा गई नेशनल की कराची खास बॉम्बे बिरयानी, कराची की सबसे बेस्ट बिरयानी।
पाकिस्तान के जदीद तरीन प्लांट पर बनी खादें, सरसब्ज की नाइट्रोफॉस और कैन, जिनसे मिले 10% से भी ज्यादा इजाफी पैदावार।
And not going soft, who's going to put the bowling outfit under pressure?
almost go now, cricket's so much more on TV that if you're a youngster in Bangladesh and you're sitting by the TV watching your heroes play and you say, actually, that's an opportunity for me to be a power hitter, an all-rounder in the game, and that's when you pick up those franchise opportunities as well. There's a big career in it.
Yeah, there's a physical side to it as well. Both we do the women's game. Both the men's and women's Bangladesh players are slight in build. And it's not everything size and strength, but power hitting needs to improve in Bangladesh, men and women. They have beautiful touch players and class players. We've just seen one there in Tamim Iqbal. What a player he was. Power hitting is vital in the game. It's the thing that's improved. You'd have the odd power hitter in my era. Nowadays, power hitting is vital.
Yeah, I think most leadership groups, it doesn't matter which country you look at, they'll get surly with players with strike rates of 80 and below for certain, but the vast majority have got strike rates of 100 plus. And that's the difference. It's gone are the days where you get 250 and a safe. We've seen that already in this tournament. You just get blown away. I mean, now even England and Australia, that match 350. I mean, goodness, we're talking about, you know, maybe 380 being safe. And it's crazy to think, and the dimensions of these players are so good. The reverse sweeps against pace. They're just moving and manipulating captains. It must be a nightmare now to captain the modern day cricket game.
Another thing I find interesting is a lot of subcontinent players, maybe not Indians so much, but the composition, their profile of their bat, they used to use quite heavy bats, and that means that sometimes maybe the hand speed isn't necessarily there, so hitting over the top down the ground with that slight stature as well, Nas, can be quite challenging. And that's why sometimes being able to lay the ball on the bat, quite interesting, both of these players have quite a bigger top of the handle. If you watch both Radoy and Shanto, very much that baseball type end of the handle. And what that does, typically when players have that, Harry Brook is similar from England as well, is that you then have it's like a counterbalance of weight, so you quite often would have the lower of the bat a lot heavier, so being able to have the top of the bat, you have the top of the bat with that wider baseball type top, means that the profile of the bat is heavier down the bottom. So that's one way that they've tried to, I guess, create a profile of the bat to be able to allow that to have, I guess, a feel that it's a bit lighter.
One for the over. One for the over.
You've ever picked up some subcontinent bats and you go, this is a plank of wood.
Yeah, look, I hear what you're saying, but I just feel like it's also, as much, you have a lot of back of house support, and it's as much about training differently. I mean, when we first started playing, it was very much a middle distance running type approach, and then a few of us decided to throw down the gauntlet and become power athletes.
Splice of the bat doesn't carry to mid-on. The fielding is good, and pressure is building on the...
नई स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी
बहुत स्ट्रांग होगी है भाई
कितनी
New stronger Pepsi.
आ गई और छा गई नेशनल की कराची खास बॉम्बे बिरयानी कराची की सबसे बेस्ट बिरयानी
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बाल करी शाइन ऑल द टाइम।
So good.
I just feel that Bracewell's bowling a lot at the stumps, and with the tightness of the fielders that are in the square leg, the mid-wicket, the offside as well, going where's the scoring options? Haven't necessarily seen a sweep from any of these players as such as well. He's just able to bowl at the stumps with some nice drift with the breeze.
Come on.
It is the sweep, he gets it fine, a bit of a top edge, and it gets through. Rourke, twice he misses it. The big man has had to go down twice. I think he's missed it both times.
Yeah, it's a good shape to shot, mate. I remember seeing another sweet shot. It's a weapon on these tracks. Good extension and reach. Doesn't get it. Just closes the bat face on it a little bit early. Spins away from Will O'Rourke. Big tall timber. He tried to regather and couldn't. There is a lot of swing though. There's a lot of drift here for Bracewell. And you look at the key tools inside a spinner's arsenal, and one of them is the drift. It's the way that the ball actually arrives, and it tends to, as a left-hander, get under your eyes as well.
So good, Beastie. That's outstanding, Beastie.
You got that package, Nick? That not package, but the...
Lovely that, boy.
Yeah, 2.2 is the degrees of drift. So it just is the difference between the ball arriving where you think it's going to and where it actually does.
Good Beastie, good Beastie.
Look at that length up, attacking the stumps as well, pitching and hitting in line. Very good bowling. Quite underrated in New Zealand's lineup.
No, that just stuck in the pitch. Just gripped a bit.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, ज़ेन में आओ।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बाल करें शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
इस क्रिकेट सीजन मैच के दौरान लाइट जाने पर अपने टीवी को तोड़ने से गुरेज करें। जोंग मंथली प्रो मैक्स प्लस लगाएं और देखें फ्री क्रिकेट ऑन माई जोंग ऐप थ्रू माइको।
पाकिस्तान के जदीद तरीन प्लांट पर बनी खादें, सरसब्ज की नाइट्रोफॉस और कैन, जिनसे मिले 10% से भी ज्यादा इजाफी पैदावार।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का।
Hitting the ball out the ground. Down the ground. They need to put their foot down, and that's a couple of boundaries in the last half a dozen deliveries.
Yeah, I wonder whether this is a little indicative of now mid-pitch discussion by these two, Drew and Shanto. When do we get on with it? We know that we've got to be somewhere north of 300 here. So at some point they need to bite the bullet. Maybe this is it. Just gave himself a bit of room, access to the ball.
To be proactive, because unlike that England-Australia game we talk about, that there are 5 proper frontline bowlers. Santner, who I think is exceptional in all conditions, but especially here in Pakistan, he's yet to bowl a delivery, so there will be no let-up. There are 5 frontline bowlers and then a couple of part-timers.
You're talking about fitness, Ness. We had this coach a few years ago, and as in all indoor nets you have a whiteboard, and he started writing. He said training regime. He said you girls need to get fitter. He said training regime, and he wrote morning run 10k, afternoon hit balls, afternoon biceps, don't miss your arm stuff, bench press, bicep curls, all the sorts. And he goes, who is this cricketer? And we're thinking, gee whiz, who misses a legs day? Obviously not a wicket keeper. He goes, Matthew Hayden.
When Nasser was describing the South Africans in the gym the other day, I was in the gym in Lahore, and I saw one of those vibrating platforms, the one that you had to belt around your arms, and I was thinking of Nasser on the vibrating just to get a bit of leg power going for your squats. Was that you?
What are you on about?
It was a special device, Nas. Clearly you haven't spent enough time in gyms, where you used to stand on the platform and it used to vibrate, and that was your exercise.
Here's me, Ness, thinking we needed subtitles for me talking, but obviously not.
Don't split us up too early, okay? You've got to realise that Nasser is saying he's hemorrhaging at the moment. Hemorrhaging from the other night, but then he's also hemorrhaging from 5 hours in a drive from Rawalpindi, where I was discussing all of the greens that I saw, the olive trees, the this and the that's, and Nasser at any point in time just wanted to go, mate, just shut up, will you?
$20 overs done, 97 for 2.
हाइब्रिड इन्वर्टर लिथियम बैटरी की वसी रेंज इन्वेरेक्स को बनाता है पाकिस्तान का नंबर 1 सोलर ब्रांड इन्वेरेक्स मेरा एतमाद मेरी रिकमेंडेशन
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बालकनी शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
Particular.
Oh, beastie, that's beautiful, boy.
When does Santner introduce himself? We're getting deeper. He'd have to bowl 10 of the last
Under five, boys. We go bang bang. Come
29 overs.
So good. Outstanding, beastie.
He did bowl quite late in that first game. Glenn Phillips bowled a number of overs. I quite like his contest against Redoi. Struggles a bit more against that left arm because he likes to work the ball into the leg side.
Tries to go up and over, extra cover, running back, excellent catch. Kane Williamson, he doesn't drop many. New Zealand don't drop many. Bracewell, brilliant, he has 2 for, and Bangladesh lose their 3rd.
Yeah, he's been brilliant, came on in the 9th over of the day and has been really consistent, hard to get away. And this is a wonderful catch from Kane Williamson as well. Bear in mind, folks, there's breeze coming over his back here, so whilst this goes up with nothing on it, check out the way he was poised.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ।
आ गई और छा गई नेशनल की कराची खास बॉम्बे बिरयानी, कराची की सबसे बेस्ट बिरयानी।
जब बात हो अपने प्यारों की जिंदगी में रोशनी लाने की, तो फिर मेरा इंतखाब है पाकिस्तान की मोस्ट रिलायबल सोलर कंपनी इन्वेरेक्स मेरा एतमाद मेरी रिकमेंडेशन।
जब तुम्हें लगता है कहानी खत्म हो रही है, कहानी वहीं से तो शुरू होती है। Grow on Extreme. Take a fresh start.
जैज़ के पास हर नीड का हल है। बस *699# मिलाओ और अपने लिए खास बनाए हुए पैकेज को अपनी सुपर पावर बनाओ।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बालकनी शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
Straight away, no one on the sweep. Straight away he gets it. Well, watch the drift and also watch the catch. It reminded me of that famous Travis Head catch in the World Cup final to dismiss Rohit Sharma running back.
Why not turn the sit, boys?
And it was a good grab in the end because with the breeze, it was always going away from him.
Yes, please, T. That's outstanding.
Set build up of pressure from bowlers both ends as well. Only one boundary through that period of play, and Radoy was really struggling. 7 off 25 deliveries just to get Michael Bracewell away.
So good, BC. So good, boy.
99 for 3.
कोक उठाओ, स्कैन करो, कोड के साथ डिटेल्स व्हाट्सएप करो और फ्री मैच टिकट्स या ढेरों को प्राइजेस जीतने का मौका पाओ। कोका कोला, यकीन की जीत है।
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ।
रुको, छू जाती है हर अच्छी बात, चल मेरे लाल।
इस क्रिकेट सीजन मैच के दौरान लाइट जाने पर अपने टीवी को तोड़ने से गुरेज करें। जोंग मंथली प्रो मैक्स प्लस लगाएं और देखें फ्री क्रिकेट ऑन माई जोंग ऐप थ्रू माइको।
जूसी टोमेटो से बना शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप। जब भी हो फ्लेवर्स की हैप्पीनेस को बढ़ाना, शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप हिलाना मस्त है।
With a ICC ranking of number 7, skipper these days. You won't get a more laid-back cricketer in the world, I don't think. I'll tell you, he is just the most calm character. Might just have bounced a wee bit too much, perhaps.
Gone early with the leg bye call, which is unusual from an umpiring point of view, before New Zealand decided whether they were going to take the review or not. And I think you're right, turn and bounce.
Which is interesting in itself. He's not a huge turner of the ball, Mitchell Santner, so if he's getting spin, might interest Bangladesh later in the evening. That one got away from him.
Nice there, boys.
So at this rate, Bangladesh will get 241. You'd expect for them to increase the ante, providing they don't lose too many wickets in the middle part of this innings, to a point where they can get to 270 and then look perhaps to 300. Just doing a little bit more than we thought in terms of variation this pitch.
We've seen that. I mean, this is the 22nd over now, is Smithy, and we've seen the ball to bounce and also keeping a little bit low. We thought that it's going to be a cracker of a wicket, but if that starts to happen on a consistent basis, then so many things goes in the back of the batter's mind. Are you going to go and place a few shots? Are you going to back yourself up? Important for Shanto as a skipper, because he got a bit of a start here, 47 of 66. I think it's important now for him to realize that he has to bat through. He needs to block one end and bat through till the very end, and then let others bat around him.
James, brilliant boys!
Brilliant. The last two saves from New Zealand have saved 6, maybe 7 runs. Just with athleticism. You do well to beat Glenn Phillips. You do really well. Will Young before that.
Yep. So good, Mitchie. Well done.
So some really agile fielding.
अपने प्यारों की जिंदगी में रोशनी लाने की, तो फिर मेरा इंतखाब है पाकिस्तान की मोस्ट रिलायबल सोलर कंपनी इनवेरेक्स। मेरा एतमाद, मेरी रिकमेंडेशन।
जैस के पास हर नीड का हल है। बस *699# मिलाओ और अपने लिए खास बनाए हुए पैकेज को अपनी सुपर पावर बनाओ।
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार। तुम मैं एक और कप।
Introducing Hello Hair Hair Color, Keratin, Olive, और एवोकाडो ऑयल से विजिबली इंप्रूव्ड हेयर क्वालिटी, हेलो हेयर, हेयर कलर, कलर्स to die for.
Sunsilk Black Shine में है
So Rachin Ravindra on the side today. Now to only be 4 played today, he's back Glenn Phillips against anyone in world cricket over 40 metres.
Certainly did. That was the first. That's Will Young. But have a look at this. That's the second.
Brilliant, BC. So good boy.
We wanted the last one when he.
Well, I challenge anyone to find a player in world cricket. I'm trying to, off the top of my head, think of who would be up there. As far as real pace across the ground. And about the teams that are in this competition, I don't know. 40 yards, send your best. Good luck against Phillips. That's all I'd say.
I'm just looking around these squads that are here, actually. I don't see anyone in the English side, or Australia for that matter. They've got to match this kind of action.
Pace to the ball. Up and down.
Super slow, mate. That was working well too. It's all about the speed, really, that.
South African squad.
Well, this in the air, and this could be an opportunity for Rachin Ravindra underneath it. Takes it with ease. And Bangladesh are just giving it away here for some reason. And he is so experienced, Mushfiqur, to do that.
He's thrown it away. Remember, he got a first ball duck in that first match against India, and he had a bit of a chance because there's so many overs left. And he comes in and plays that shot. Is what faced 5.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ।
आ गई और छा गई नेशनल की कराची खास बॉम्बे बिरयानी, कराची की सबसे बेस्ट बिरयानी।
जब जब तुम्हें लगता है कहानी खत्म हो रही है, कहानी वहीं से तो शुरू होती है। Grown Extreme. Take a fresh start.
पाकिस्तान के जदीद तरीन प्लांट पर बनी खादें, सरसब्ज की नाइट्रोफॉस और कैन, जिनसे मिले 10% से भी ज्यादा इजाफी पैदावार।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बालकनी शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
कोक उठाओ, स्कैन करो, कोड के साथ डिटेल्स व्हाट्सएप करो और फ्री मैच टिकट्स या ढेरों को प्राइजेस जीतने का मौका पाओ। कोका कोला, यकीन की जीत है।
100% grey coverage with no fear of hair damage. Permanent color with Italian formulation. So right spike, hello hair, hair color, colors to die for.
At least a half century here to support his captain. They need to put a partnership together through these middle overs. Between now and, say, the 40th over, they really cannot afford to lose another wicket.
So good, BC. So good, boy.
A wicket in the over and a single as well. 106 for 4.
Best and juicy tomatoes से बना शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप। जब भी हो फ्लेवर्स की हैप्पीनेस को बढ़ाना, शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप हिलाना मस्त है।
New Stronger Pepsi.
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
पाकिस्तान के जदीद तरीन प्लांट पर बनी खादें, सरसब्ज की नाइट्रोफॉस और कैन, जिनसे मिले 10% से भी ज्यादा इजाफी पैदावार।
Best pace bowler, 22 years of age. They're looking to give him something to bowl at.
It's the runs, Ian Smith. It's the runs that will matter from here on. A couple of poor shots, especially the last wicket of Mushfiqur Rahim. I reckon this is about 40 metres. Do we time this?
Space out here, boys.
Full speed. Watch him go. Across the ground.
Next time.
Not far away, Smithy, I reckon. 35, 40 metres. Some of that.
Well, lads, here it is. Here's the next one.
Half century for
Halfway,
the
boys.
skipper,
Take us to halfway.
His first since first opening the batting. Talked about the necessity after for the top order to get the job done, to bat deep. Have they taken it a little too far and been a little too cautious, or is it kind of what you expected?
Certainly, in my opinion, I expected a better fist of things, especially after what happened in that first match against India. And if you look at someone like Tawheed Ridwan, played number of deliveries, could not rotate strike and had to go out, went out cheaply, and also playing too many dot deliveries. Now this is the shot that he'll be going back in the dressing room and will not be watching this at all, because he knew that was not on against the wind and also just coming on to bat. Now they need a partnership. I know they did not lose those early wickets early on, but now have a look at this. At this stage, they're already 4 down in the 24th over, and that's a problem. And that's a serious issue that needs to be addressed. Just getting a little bit too late.
Oh, Mitchie. Oh, Mitchie. Hold that, boy. Good set.
You said you've been around since the Arcs, but you're not far wrong. I mean, 2007 in T20 World Cup in the Caribbean was his first full ICC men's event. He did play the Under-19 World Cup, the ICC Men's Under-19 World Cup in 2003. Vastly experienced Mahmudullah, 39 years of age.
At least this over, Mitch Santner. You don't see him bowling wides very often. He's pretty much in control, so just needs to tidy that up a little.
Good, Mitchie. Good, Mitchie. Nice boy.
It's the partnership that counts. They started well, the opening partnership, batting 45 of 51, 19 and then 33. They got a bit of a start and then started losing wickets. That's not going to help team scores at all.
Hit!
113
क्रिकेट सीजन मैच के दौरान लाइट जाने पर अपने टीवी को तोड़ने से गुरेज करें। Zong मंथली प्रो मैक्स प्लस लगाएं और देखें फ्री क्रिकेट ऑन माई Zong ऐप थ्रू माइको।
Very impressive grip. Service Tires is a game changer. Service Tires, Pakistan's global tire brand.
Magic सिर्फ तब जब साथ सब
list. What about the second name on this list here? Lytton Das, wealth of experience. Should have been in the squad. Should have been in the squad. He was at a bad time with the bat when this Bangladesh Premier League were on. And when the squad was announced in the next game, he got 100. It's so very difficult for someone to realize, if you're looking at someone like Lichon Kumar Das, who's been excellent in all formats of the game for Bangladesh, can go through a bad patch, a lean patch. But you're talking about ICC tournaments, you're talking about experience, wealth of experience, just like someone like Mahmudullah has. The 400s that he has in his career in ODIs has come in all ICC 50 over tournaments. So surely, well, in my opinion, if I was a selector, he would have been in the squad. Lichon Kumar Das.
All right then, selector, double AK. Who are you leaving out?
Well, they've picked up Perez Hussain Imon, a rookie left-hander who's also very good. So probably he might have just missed out, but certainly I would have never left out Lichun Kumar Das for such a big tournament.
Yes, Beastie. Yes, boy.
I like that. There's a lot of keyboard warriors out there who'll say he shouldn't be in the team, but they can't tell you who should be. Well, he should be in the team, but they won't tell you who they leave out. To bring someone in, you have to leave another player out. In big tournaments, short tournaments as well, experience counts for so much.
Have a great set, Beastie.
Dot ball to finish.
मैजिक से कम जब साथ सब हो कोका कोला यकीन की जीत है
हर मैदान हमारा मैदान है इस मैदान में जीत की लगन और मुसलसल जिद्दोजहद ही हमारी कामयाबी है हम हैं फ्रोनस भर दे उजाला जिंदगी में
सिंजेंटा इस अभियान दे फसल को फौरी तवानाई और ग़िज़ाइयत इस अभियान है जादू का चिराग
कोक उठाओ स्कैन करो कोड के साथ डिटेल्स व्हाट्सएप करो और फ्री मैच टिकट्स या ढेरों को प्राइजेस जीतने का मौका
innings, it's been odd, to be perfectly honest. It's gone in fits and starts, but been a whole lot of cheap overs New Zealand have got away with here.
Lovely, Mitchie. Lovely, boy.
Bracewell is useful bowler, but he's still learning his trade.
So good, boys.
You've had one or two good overs.
On this one, lads.
Just look at the bottom layer there, which is 3 runs or less. 3 runs or less. How many overs there?
Yes, Tank. Yes, Tank. Yes, boy.
And what we believe to be a pretty good surface.
Beautiful there, Mitchie.
101 dots halfway through the innings.
Come on, keep squeezing here.
Got that right. I'm sure you can see that screen, but 101.
But that's why it's so important. Even if you don't pick up boundaries, it's important to rotate strike, pick up the gaps, and just release the pressure. You just mentioned 101 dots. That's way too much at the half stage of the game.
Quality, boy. Beautiful, Mitchie. So good, boy.
It's a deep backward square, mate.
Hand it over, Mitchie. Hand it over. Well done, Mitchie.
Because of the misfield, they'll get 4 off that over.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ जिन में आओ
कोक उठाओ स्कैन करो कोड के साथ डिटेल्स व्हाट्सएप करो और फ्री मैच टिकट्स या ढेरों को प्राइजेस जीतने का मौका पाओ कोका कोला यकीन की जीत है हर मैदान हमारा मैदान है इस मैदान में जीत की लगन और मुसलसल जिद्दोजहद ही हमारी कामयाबी है हम हैं फ्रोनस भर दे उजाला जिंदगी में
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार तुम मैं एक और कप चाय
Bowlers, got to be very careful here, Bangladesh. Down the wicket, mistimed again, and should be out, is out. They've done it again. What is happening here? O'Rourke with a decent running catch. Bracewell's got 4 for.
Well, he's used the drift, he's used the flight well, but there's been some less than good cricket shots at times from the Bangladesh batters, and another one here from Mahmudullah. You can just swing that leg side. O'Rourke does well. Put one down.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ जिन में आओ
आ गई और छा गई नेशनल की कराची खास बॉम्बे बिरयानी कराची की सबसे बेस्ट बिरयानी
जब जब तुम्हें लगता है कहानी खत्म हो रही है कहानी वहीं से तो शुरू होती है Grow on Extreme. Take a fresh start.
जब बात हो अपने प्यारों की जिंदगी में रोशनी लाने की तो फिर मेरा इंतखाब है पाकिस्तान की मोस्ट रिलायबल सोलर कंपनी इन्वेरेक्स। इन्वेरेक्स मेरा एतमाद मेरी रिकमेंडेशन।
मैजिक सिर्फ तब हो जब साथ सब हो। कोका कोला यकीन की जीत है।
Introducing Hello Hair Hair Color. Keratin, olive और avocado oils में visibly improved hair quality. Hello Hair Hair Color. Colors to die for.
जब बात हो अपने प्यारों की जिंदगी में रोशनी लाने की तो फिर मेरा इंतखाब है पाकिस्तान की मोस्ट रिलायबल सोलर कंपनी इन्वेरेक्स। इन्वेरेक्स मेरा एतमाद मेरी रिकमेंडेशन।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बाल करी शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
नई स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग हो गई है भाई। कितनी?
New stronger Pepsi.
The strike, singles out coming, you're playing too many dots, then you decide to go down the wicket and you pick the wrong one. Not taking any credit away from the bowler. He's bowled beautifully, 4 for 25 with some poor shots. Selection for sure.
Well, the direction he looked to hit that was the mistake for me. If you want to use your feet and come down the ground and hit a bowler who's not really turning it, go straight. That was the mistake. Not so much the intent, but just the execution of the shot.
So good boy. So good boy. You can stay.
Well, this is... I'm not going to be rude here to Michael Bracewell, but this has got to be bonus country for New Zealand. When we came to the ground, look at the nature of the pitch. To think that Michael Bracewell would bowl 10 overs straight without any trouble at all, not even a semblance of taking him off, because he's actually been under no pressure. And he's going to pick up 4 for in the process. No wonder he's beaming. He hit for 6 in his first over, and he's hit for 1 boundary since. It's not doing anything to assist him, nothing.
First New Zealand spinner to take a 4-for since 2000 in an ICC Champions Trophy. It's another off spinner actually. On that occasion from Otago. Paul Wiseman.
The old whizzer. Yeah, always a
का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, zen में आओ।
वाटिका अनियन शैम्पू, जिसके हर ड्रॉप में है भरी नरिशिंग ऑयल्स और नेचुरल इंग्रेडिएंट्स की गुडनेस। वाटिका शैम्पू, ऑयल वाला शैम्पू।
मैच की फिक्र छोड़ो और अभी फिक्र फ्री ऐप डाउनलोड करो।
मैच की फिक्र छोड़ो और अभी फिक्र फ्री ऐप डाउनलोड करो। फिक्र फ्री से सेहत और इंश्योरेंस अब आपके हाथ में।
बेस्ट एंड जूसी टोमेटो से बना शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप। जब भी हो फ्लेवर्स की हैप्पीनेस को बढ़ाना, शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप हिलाना मस्ट है।
Flipping to play, and that is Bracewell, because now New Zealand are thinking about knocking Bangladesh over, not just restricting them, but getting them out.
Dots down here, pressure on the other end, lads. Come on. All right, buddy. Dots down here. Yeah, good, mate. Oh, yes. So good,
Just going back to first game as well, Smithy. Michael Bracewell bowled 10 overs, 1 for 38 in game number 1. Good start to the tournament with the ball.
Just short of Williamson. Nearly chipped it straight to mid-wicket, harmlessly.
It looks to me that they're getting caught in two minds. Whether to play and try to be a little bit forceful, that could have easily gone to the hands to the fielder.
a bit much there, and that quicker ball is not working for him today. It's drifting down leg the whole time, and that'll help ease some Bangladesh blues.
We haven't seen the batters earlier on playing a sweep shot. And that's one of the shots that can be profitable, especially against spin, no matter if you're left arm orthodox or right arm. Just away from the fielder, get past him and gets about to the boundary.
Beautiful set.
Dooley's asked for it, so here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Change on one, Nick.
New stronger Pepsi.
जैज़ के पास हर नीड का हल है। बस *699# मिलाओ और अपने लिए खास बनाए हुए पैकेज को अपनी सुपर पावर बनाओ।
पाकिस्तान के जदीद तरीन प्लांट पर बनी खादें, सरसब्ज की नाइट्रोफॉस और कैन, जिनसे मिले 10% से भी ज्यादा इजाफी पैदावार।
हर मैदान हमारा मैदान है। इस मैदान में जीत की लगन और मुसलसल जिद्दोजहद ही हमारी कामयाबी है। हम हैं फ्रोनस, भर दे उजाला जिंदगी में।
Very pitch or this very ground tomorrow, not this pitch, probably one alongside. You're looking forward to that, I'm sure. It's as flat as a pancake. Jamison back into the attack. Change of ends. With the wide. Bowling from the Magala Hills end.
Well, the first one, just trying to ease that down the ground. This one here, just a top edge, that. A poor option and a miss hit, and another one off the edge away to O'Rourke at backward point. 4 for Bracewell. Pretty tidy with that line and length, just getting a little bit of drift with the breeze.
You made Jamison, what the little you've seen, Dooley?
I think still finding his way, even when he burst onto the scene, all of his success was red ball cricket, and then he picked up a big contract in the IPL and was by no means anywhere near a T20 bowler at that stage of his career. So, having picked up the injuries, having had to have the back surgery, I think he's come back really nicely. I think he's got a little bit of that early pace back that he had in the mid-130s. He was never quick. But he was up in the mid-130s in that opening spell, which I think was about more like where he caused all that trouble. I think he's still got work to do on his white ball game. I think that's probably the point I'm getting to.
Has his action changed because of injury? Have you noticed any slight change?
We had a good look at it. We'll get our boffins downstairs to maybe dig out some old footage and do a little bit of comparison. Doesn't appear to be too much. One thing I noticed the other night with Jofra Archer was he's a little more chest on. The feet are not in the same alignment as they were back in that 19 World Cup post-back injury. Little things, but not as easy when you're tall. It's always been a fairly rhythmical run-up. Might just be similar, a little bit more chest on than he was in his early days.
The reason I ask that is because sometimes when you get back injuries, you have to, if you want to reinvent yourself, you have to try to do something to avoid the repercussions, so you make changes.
Yeah, he's not as high in his gather. That's one thing that I can certainly see. He's skipping through the crease a little bit more. In his early days when he burst onto the scene, he had a really nice high gather and was off the ground, so the jump before delivery stride was a lot higher. He's a little bit more through the crease Now, that is certainly one thing I notice. It's so much about trust. With your back and back injuries, it is so much about trust. And can you still do the same things you did prior to injuries, prior to operations? It's just more of a skip through the air rather than a big jump and a gather. So he's obviously worked on that. Same surgeon that did Shane Bond's earlier did Jasprit Bumrah's back. Pattinson, I think, from Australia as well. The same surgeon down in Christchurch in New Zealand has done all 4 of those and maybe many others. 29 gone, 120.
%100% grey coverage with no fear of hair damage. Permanent color with Italian formulation. So right side, hello hair, hair color. Colors to die for.
New stronger Pepsi.
Best and juicy tomatoes से बना Shangri-La tomato ketchup. जब भी हो flavors की happiness को बढ़ाना, Shangri-La tomato ketchup हिलाना must है.
ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी पाकिस्तान ग्लोबल टायर ब्रांड.
इस क्रिकेट सीजन मैच के दौरान लाइट जाने पर अपने टीवी को तोड़ने से गुरेज करें. Zong मंथली प्रो मैक्स प्लस लगाएं और देखें फ्री क्रिकेट ऑन माई Zong ऐप थ्रू माइको.
न्यू स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी.
ये जो मच्छर की आवाज है खतरे का साज है.
किंग टॉक्स घर में लाजमी रखें. किंग टॉक्स छोड़ेगा नहीं, मारेगा चुन चुन के. हेलो हेयर एंटी डैंड्रफ शैम्पू टी ट्री और मिंट ऑयल से
And the combination means that he now has the best figures by a New Zealand spinner in the Champions Trophy, which is impressive when you think about the spinners that they have used across the years. Apologies to everyone, but we have 3 Aussies in the commentary box. Andrew, Michael Hayden.
So good set.
I'm saying Michael Bracewell. I've got my Michaels mixed up. Matthew Hayden, Aaron Finch.
I'll answer to most things, Mel. What we've seen in this innings is a kamikaze type display from this middle order now. The air has completely been taken out of this batting effort, which had a pretty solid start. Didn't get blown away in the first 10.
Top edge and just short. Caught one in the chops for his dive forward as well, Henry.
But then also hasn't been able to gather any kind of momentum, Finchy. It's just been a real struggle, even for Shanto that's been in there now the entire time. 65% of deliveries are dots.
Yeah, it's been a real contrast to the first 10 overs where they look to be really aggressive. Now, against the spin, against Bracewell and Santner, it's either been trying to block the ball back to the bowler almost or trying to hit it for 6. There's been nothing in between. There's been no attempts to just beat the cover to his left and run to manipulate the field. There hasn't been any kind of inventive batting. It's just been all one way. The problem when you've got a surface that's not 100% true, you're getting a little bit of hold, you're getting a little bit of assistance when you do change your pace. It becomes difficult to get off strike because you're not trying to beat the fielders, you're not trying to hit it hard into the deep. So then when you do look to go up the gears, it's almost a shock to the system. Trying to hit a 6 out of nowhere. It's not going through the gears. It's just first gear or 5th gear. There's nothing in between. And that's been the disappointing thing so far for Bangladesh through the middle. End of the third.
कप आए ना आए टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा. चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार.
तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
मैजिक सिर्फ तब हो जब साथ सब हो। कोका कोला, यकीन की जीत है।
मैच की फिक्र छोड़ो और अभी फिक्र फ्री ऐप डाउनलोड करो।
मैच की फिक्र छोड़ो और अभी फिक्र फ्री ऐप डाउनलोड करो। फिक्र फ्री से सेहत और इंश्योरेंस अब आपके हाथ में।
वाह, ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी। पाकिस्तान ग्लोबल टायर ब्रांड।
हेलो हेयर एंटी डैंड्रफ शैम्पू, टी ट्री और मिंट ऑयल से डैंड्रफ खत्म, इट्स रिमूव्ड, बाल मॉइस्चराइज्ड और स्कैल्प रिफ्रेश्ड। हेलो हेयर एंटी डैंड्रफ शैम्पू।
Who's from?
Finchie, just to expand on that thinking a little bit more for our viewers, you and I are opening the batting together. We've got through 10 overs and we've now got slower paced bowlers on. To me, what's happened today is that neither batsman has actually gone to each other and gone, righto mate, what have we got to do? I mean, dot balls are our worst enemy at this stage. Now clearly we have to score some runs here, but it's also about communicating with your partner and going, right, who's got which role there, left and right hand combination. Ball's obviously going to suit one rather than the other potentially. The ball coming into us as left-handers, for example, the off-spinner. I go, right, where are my 2, not 10, best scoring options for my release shot? But otherwise, where are my 1s?
Yeah, exactly, and that's what partnership batting is. At times, you'll get a really good matchup in your favour. So for a right-hander, it might be the off-spinner. So then you go, right, Haydos, get me on strike. I'll look to be aggressive to this player because it suits my game better, and vice versa. So then the onus is put back on you, get me on strike. And there just hasn't been enough of that partnership batting. We look to play to each other's strengths, try and minimise dot balls and maximise the matchups that you have.
Yeah, Jonesy, it's almost like it's a shell shock type approach. It's almost like, well, we haven't been here before in the tournament. Now we are. What do we do? And you're problem solving on the run. All of these discussions should have happened even in the lead up to matches. You just go, right, if you and I are batting together, we've got this scenario happening. What are we going to do?
The call was 2 off the bat. Knew he found some space throughout the onside.
And okay, even if you go, right, well, we're going to range hit. And you see a lot of players now do exactly that. They'll get an off-spinner to a left-hand batter or vice versa, and they go, where am I going to bang my options and what is my range? So you know exactly what it is. Like golfers have so many different options at the tee box to be able to explore what they need to do.
Just have to re-bowl that one. And there's 2 components then you're looking at then, aren't you, if you're Phil Simmons and the coaching staff, because one of them is game plan and sense and a sit down with all the players about all these pieces, and the other part is still a technique issue, isn't it, in which you've got to figure out yourself where those release shots are, how do I get my body into those positions, if all of a sudden they're starting to block it up on a certain line and length, how do I move around the crease, how do I be a little bit more proactive.
And it doesn't have to be all about hitting sixes. It doesn't all have to be about high-risk batting. The art of batting, you think of Virat Kohli's innings that he plays, it's so calculated. He finds the boundary when he needs in a low-risk way. What we've seen today is dots or high-risk looking to slog it over the leg side from the Bangladesh batters. And it's just fallen a little bit short of the mark in these middle overs. Like you said, Haydos, they've been crying out for a good start and they got it today, but they haven't been able to capitalise.
Oh, and that would have been out. The ricochet off the hands, could have gone onto the stumps. It doesn't.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ।
मैजिक सिर्फ तब हो जब साथ सब हो। कोका कोला, यकीन की जीत है। वाह, Very impressive grip. Service Tires is a game changer. Service Tires, Pakistan's global tire brand.
मैच की फिक्र छोड़ो और अभी फिक्र फ्री ऐप डाउनलोड करो।
मैच की फिक्र छोड़ो और अभी फिक्र फ्री ऐप डाउनलोड करो। फिक्र फ्री से सेहत और इंश्योरेंस अब आपके हाथ में।
Jacob Ellie had the chance of his first ball put down by Rohit Sharma at first slip the other day, went on with a wonderful partnership. Much needed. He didn't sweep much against the left-arm orthodox spinners from India.
It's a simple question as well, Finchy, of what's acceptable. So what's your benchmark through the middle? If it's run a ball, then you tick that box. If it's slightly more, if the matchup is favourable, then you go there. But to me, there's been an absence of plan. Last over was a 2nd and 12 with more than a run of ball in it. So automatically you put yourself in the category of, well, we're going to accept maybe 3-4 runs and over. Well, that's not going to be good enough, Bangladesh. Not in a tournament like this. There's no way that you can sustain that pressure.
So good set.
And then straight away, Mitchell Santner, 4 dots. Starts building that pressure once again. His ability to change his pace up and down is wonderful. Doesn't give a batter too much of a read on what's coming down.
And then, as we've mentioned before, he can adjust well. I think that's because a little bit we've spoken about, he loses that front arm nice and early. So if he sees the batters moving around, he knows that Jake Elliott does, particularly to leg, to give himself the opportunity of hitting through the offside. He can adjust and follow him as he did just then.
Hand it over here, set. Hand it over.
Wicket.
A little bit of pressure building. Oh. Stays down on it just as they pick up another single. 2 from the over.
इस क्रिकेट सीजन मैच के दौरान लाइट जाने पर अपने टीवी को तोड़ने से गुरेज करें। Zong मंथली प्रो मैक्स प्लस लगाएं और देखें फ्री क्रिकेट ऑन माई Zong ऐप थ्रू माइको।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बाल करी शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
ऑन ग्रेड इन्वर्टर, हाइब्रिड इन्वर्टर, लिथियम बैटरी की वसी रेंज इन्वरेक्स को बनाता है पाकिस्तान का नंबर 1 सोलर ब्रांड इन्वरेक्स। मेरा एतमाद, मेरी रिकमेंडेशन।
जैज के पास हर नीड का हल है। बस *699# मिलाओ और अपने लिए खास बनाए हुए पैकेज को अपनी सुपर पावर बनाओ।
And Latham, who has done some handy diving behind the stumps today. He's coming off a century himself in the first match. He's been tested, particularly by the seamers.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy for the wicketkeeper. There's been quite a few that the ball stayed down, just bouncing just in front. You have to have good technique and good courage to keep your head over the ball.
Probably be a little bit disappointed. He hasn't quite cleanly gloved ones down the leg off the spinner today.
Just the ball before the first ball of this over. Goes off the side to the wicketkeeper. And is there any urgency in that running and backing up? Zero. There's zero intent there. To me, that was actually quite an easy one. If he was committed to backing up and really wanting to see this shift in the dimension of this innings, then there's a lot more urgency at the non-striker's end.
Wonderful hand position. Yet again, the pace from the New Zealanders. Inner circle on the boundary line has been top draw, so they cut down angles quicker. That's Conway this time. And it's a good quick release as well.
Yeah, great comment. You know, when you think of ICC tournaments, the best defensive team, the team that's able to squeeze inside the ring with great athletic ability, shut down play before it goes out to these extremely rapid outfields. bowling units that through the middle control the tempo of the play. And at the death, somehow managed to just snuff out, almost confiscate runs off the late middle order, who are in the top performing sides become a real threat. Maxwell the other night, 200 and plus, I think it was 20 strike rate for his 30 odd. It's just brilliant stuff. But those sides that have got the presence of mind to be able to shut down phases, one by one, tick those boxes, they simply raise trophies at the end of the tournament.
Protection square and behind the wicket here for the pace of Jamieson's at Shanto. It's been the backbone of the Bangladesh innings so far, 63 from 92. Scoring shot percentage like.
Hello Hair Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. Tea tree और mint oil से dandruff खत्म, itch removed, बाल moisturized और scalp refreshed. Hello Hair Anti-Dandruff Shampoo.
बेस्ट एंड जूसी टोमेटो से बना शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप। जब भी हो फ्लेवर्स की हैप्पीनेस को बढ़ाना, शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप हिलाना मस्त है।
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
Needs to get that on that and does.
Jam, well done, Jam. Quite good, Machi. Outstanding, boy. Don't mind that little set. In the game with that set.
New Zealand coming off that impressive win against Pakistan in their first match.
Oh, Machi. So good, boy. So good, Machi.
Now really in their shell, playing deep in the crease. Very difficult on this pitch. The skill set of Santner now to try and manipulate, find boundaries when you're so deep in the crease, and he's bowling that length.
On the stake, boys. Come on, here it is.
Four defensive shots. Takes on off. A little bit of urgency there from Bangladesh. Welcome to Rawalpindi, the first time we've seen Champions Trophy matches here in 2025, and it's been, up and down for Bangladesh. A wonderful start. New Zealand fought back and mostly through Bracewell. And now it's continuing it on through Santner. Wonderful changes of speed from Mitch Santner. That's what's been impressive. We saw Adil Rashid the other night in Lahore doing that.
So good, Santner.
But it's great game awareness from Santner as well. He understands that the Bangladesh batters aren't looking to go down the ground. They're not looking to use their feet down the wicket. So he's able to bowl as slow as he wants, not allowing them to use the pace behind the wicket, which they're so good at times. Just making them force the pace altogether.
As they just trot through.
मैच की फिक्र छोड़ो और अभी फिक्र फ्री ऐप डाउनलोड करो।
मैच की फिक्र छोड़ो और अभी फिक्र फ्री ऐप डाउनलोड करो। फिक्र फ्री से सेहत और इंश्योरेंस अब आपके हाथ में।
Wow, very impressive play. Service Tires is a game changer. Service Tires, Pakistan's global tire brand.
हर मैदान हमारा मैदान है। इस मैदान में जीत की लगन और मुसलसल जिद्दोजहद ही हमारी कामयाबी है। हम हैं फ्रोनक्स, भर दे उजाला जिंदगी में। मैजिक सिर्फ तब हो जब साथ सब हो। कोका-कोला, यकीन की जीत है। क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
Very impressive grip. Service Tires is a game changer. Service Tires, Pakistan's global tire brand.
New, stronger Pepsi.
मैजिक सिर्फ तब हो जब साथ सब हो। कोका कोला यकीन की जीत है।
Golden Pearl Beauty Cream, बात बन जाए।
New, stronger Pepsi.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ।
कोक उठाओ, स्कैन करो, कोड के साथ डिटेल्स व्हाट्सएप करो और फ्री मैच टिकट्स या ढेरों को प्राइजेस जीतने का मौका पाओ। कोका कोला यकीन की जीत है।
ब्यूटी क्रीम, बात बन जाए।
रुको, छू जाती है हर अच्छी बात, चल मेरे लाल।
मैजिक सिर्फ तब हो जब साथ सब हो। कोका कोला यकीन की जीत है।
बेस्ट एंड जूसी टोमेटो से बना शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप। जब भी हो फ्लेवर्स की हैप्पीनेस को बढ़ाना, शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप हिलाना मस्ट है।
ऑन ग्रिड इन्वर्टर, हाइब्रिड इन्वर्टर, लिथियम बैटरी की वसी रेंज इन्वरेक्स को बनाता है पाकिस्तान का नंबर 1 सोलर ब्रांड इन्वरेक्स। मेरा एतमाद, मेरी रिकमेंडेशन।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बालकनी शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
Go to the catching column as well.
Good job.
Yeah, he's pretty good at that as well. I agree. Here's Phillips.
Some kids playing cricket, UNICEF Cricket for Good, players around the world do some great things, empowering young people in different areas of the world, getting access to see some of the legends of the game.
Yes, Jeep. Lovely Jeeper. Beautiful boy.
Yeah, what amazes me about countries like Pakistan, and we had the privilege of driving up here from Lahore, is going through farmyards that have got a little clearance, and there is just regularly games of cricket going on. Empowers everyone on the planet, cricket. It's a sport of such enormous capability across worlds, and it's beautiful to watch young kids in particular fall in love with our great game, fall in love with their heroes, but fall in love with their own game as well.
So good, Jeep. So good, boy.
I had the privilege this morning to go down to a local ground in which the Australian High Commission was supporting the Pakistan girls blind competition. There was 4 teams from regions right around Pakistan, and the skill set there was absolutely outstanding. What an amazing experience.
So good, GP. So good, boy.
Cricket in the Olympics. Hopefully, cricket in the Paralympics as well.
This is the one I'm talking about. Might want to check out that action, but that's all right for the time being. Yeah, exactly these vast landscapes that are just blessed with our beautiful game.
Beautiful, James. Great sit, fella.
Were you backyard cricket or beach cricket?
It's the end of the over. 35 gone, 149 for 5. Backyard, I had a 10-acre house block. And Dad got a grader on the middle-sized tractor and laid a flat surface out, and then over time put a net around it, and then over time put an Australian flagpole up in there as well. So even the flag was flapping at that point in time, just 5 years of age. Pepperina trees out the back, magpies bomb diving in the summer.
मैजिक सिर्फ तब हो जब साथ सब हो। कोका कोला यकीन की जीत है।
रुको छू जाती है हर अच्छी बात चल मेरे लाल।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बालकनी शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
हर मैदान हमारा मैदान है। इस मैदान में जीत की लगन और मुसलसल जिद्दोजहद ही हमारी कामयाबी है। हम हैं फ्रोनस, भर दे उजाला जिंदगी में।
You see the height of the balls coming through, whether or not it's off O'Rourke, Jameson. It's just not a lot of bounce.
Yeah, but I feel like we're unfairly positioning the wicket because it's maybe not as good as what we first thought. Maybe, we said it at the pitch, it was a dryish wicket. Certainly little cracks in it, but it's nowhere near acceptable to be sitting in that current zone of 214. That's not an option for them.
Full face of the bat, straight down the ground, just held his shot. Henry after it and gives up.
It's the first sign of aggression down the ground from Shanto. He's been particularly good on anything half short today. O'Rourke just over pitching slightly, but it's the intent. It's a willingness to take him down the ground. It's a good shot, good solid base, good bat face. And you get value for shots here.
It's Shanto's first boundary since the 20th over. He's just been working in singles since then. Just drags the length back fractionally.
Yeah, I mentioned that Shanto's been good on anything short today. This is him before the game. Obviously, all players get out there and try and practice as many shots into the net, and then this is the result. He walks out, and he was incredibly aggressive early on, particularly anything short. And just look at that strike rate. Anything short or in the bouncer area, striking 100 or above. Anywhere else, strike rate comes really low. So it's a great opportunity here. Although he took the first ball down the ground, second ball down the ground, it's still an area that you can look to pitch up, look to exploit. We saw earlier, as soon as anyone tries to go over the top, it's hard to time. There's just enough dry patches on the wicket that it's just sticking in there. So keep challenging players to go down the ground. The margin for error is so much greater.
Well, the pull shot is played well, but he's been hurried up there. A bit of extra pace and bounce there from Rourke. One of the good things about pre-matches, you can wander out on the ground. We did that, Maddie. We had a chat to Glenn Phillips, and I asked him his catch the other night. I said, where do you rank it? Because he's taken some absolute blinders in his life. And he said number 6. And he's pretty quick with his reaction. I went, well, there's 5 more you've got to take me through then, don't you? And he said the best one he still thinks is the one of Ollie Pope at Lords in the Test match. Backward of point. outstretched right hand.
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बाल करें शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
क्रिस्प सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी। पाकिस्तान ग्लोबल टायर ब्रांड।
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
A lot of balls to players. 136 dot balls at this stage, and we've still got 14 overs to go.
So good, James. So good, boy. Outstanding, James.
Where are they going to get their production from? Shanto looks like he just wants to bat through to make sure they bat their 50 overs and see what they can perhaps come up with in the last 6 or 7. But where's the impetus going to come from?
Good, James.
Mushfiqur Rahim, as we saw in Dubai against India, he's a busy cricketer. I think he'll just start hitting it in unusual areas, and then the next man in, Rashad Hussain, is a 6-hitter for him. So they're trying to set it up. I think the skipper Shanto has to bat through now, having used 107 deliveries. He's got to be there as close to the end as possible with a 100+ score.
Best against New Zealand now, 77 for Shanto. Great shot. More of that required, please. Wonderful use of the feet.
Yeah, he's one of 2 or 3 batters who is in decent nick for Bangladesh. As I say, runs in the last game. And he didn't block it in the last game. He did play shots like this. Shanto knocked it for a single. Mushfiqur Rahim comes down and belts it for 4. More of that needed from Bangladesh. More wanted from their fans.
The stats saying that Jakarali scores more 6s than 4s in T20 cricket, so he does have the ability.
New Zealand's ground fielding has been good.
कोक उठाओ, स्कैन करो, कोड के साथ डिटेल्स व्हाट्सएप करो और फ्री मैच टिकट्स या ढेरों को प्राइजेस जीतने का मौका पाओ। कोका-कोला, यकीन की जीत है।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बाल करें शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
हर मैदान हमारा मैदान है। इस मैदान में जीत की लगन और मुसलसल जिद्दोजहद ही हमारी कामयाबी है। हम हैं फ्रोनस, भर दे उजाला जिंदगी में।
ऑन ग्रिड इन्वर्टर, हाइब्रिड इन्वर्टर, लिथियम बैटरी की वसी रेंज इन्वरेक्स को बनाता है पाकिस्तान का नंबर 1 सोलर ब्रांड इन्वरेक्स। मेरा एतमाद, मेरी रिकमेंडेशन।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स।
I've mentioned the fact that New Zealand have cut off a lot of runs already in this, but their intent has been good. They've chased well, they've committed themselves to the ground fielding.
So good, Machine.
They're quick to the ball to make sure there's never any thought of a second into the outfield, and then the catching has been good. The hands have been good. Phillips, when you got a live wire like Phillips inside the circle,
creates so much doubt for batsmen, but it also sets a standard for the others. Straight up, who wants this? Somebody's got to get it. The guy that ran the furthest forward ended up with it, Bracewell.
Well, the irony, if that had been put down just after we'd done a brilliant fielding package, but it wasn't. It very rarely is by New Zealand. There were 4 cricketers looking at each other, and that's the conversation in there now. It went straight up. O'Rourke just turned and said, someone's catching this. And in the end, it took mid-wicket to run all the way. Bracewell.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, ज़ेन में आओ।
आ गई और छा गई नेशनल की कराची खास बम्बे बिरयानी, कराची की सबसे बेस्ट बिरयानी।
जब जब तुम्हें लगता है कहानी खत्म हो रही है, कहानी वहीं से तो शुरू होती है। Grow on Extreme. Take a fresh start.
सिंजेंटा इस अभियान दे फसल को फौरी तवानाई और ग़िज़ाइयत। इस अभियान है जादू का चिराग।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बाल करें शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
Try Golden Pearl White Beauty Face Wash, 3 super ingredients, 1 single dose. ये है 24/7 radiance का super formula. Golden Pearl White Beauty Face Wash. Love your skin.
पाकिस्तान के जदीद तरीन प्लांट पर बनी खादें, सरसब्ज की नाइट्रोफॉस और कैन, जिनसे मिले 10% से भी ज्यादा इजाफी पैदावार।
224, 225, wasn't enough, nowhere near enough. And Shubman Gill got an unbeaten 100 to run that down with ease.
Well, he's played the short ball well, Shanto. We just did him practicing the pull shot, and he's got it away a few times. And Bracewell, Henry looks at Bracewell, saying, please get that, because it's not far from me.
I'll tell you who was quite a passenger and all that was the skipper, Mitch Santner.
Show the first replay again, please. Very first one that you just showed out about.
I'll tell you why, because Bracewell almost ended up at Santner's feet here. And we all have lots of laughs when it's safely pouched, but I think Santner, just given that as a wide, I think Santner was a chance here, to be fair. He's in the foreground. He sort of just walks. And look how close Bracewell is up to him in the end. He said, don't worry, Skip, I got it covered.
Well, he thought about having a go at mid-off. He's thought about saying that's your catch. Here we go. Who travelled the furthest? Mid-wicket, definitely 18 metres.
There was that realisation when he looked up and he thought, oh, that's the skipper. Well, I have bowled my 10 overs, so maybe it wouldn't be too bad to say, what were you doing, mate? You know those fielders that take the step backwards first and you go, they're definitely not wanting that catch. I almost wonder if it skipped a bit more off the wicket, a bit of extra skid on the green. They controlled that pull shot so well all innings, Shanto.
How many overs have they batted in 81? So you've got 87 overs?
So in 87 overs, it's the last game against India and this game against New Zealand. They've had 301 dot balls. Well, that's the whole innings. That's 50 overs. Now, if you're the head coach, and that's Phil Simmons, that's point one. That's number one on the whiteboard, I'm afraid. Dot balls, let's address those. 50 overs? Sprawling take from Latham. Well done.
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
हर मैदान हमारा मैदान है। इस मैदान में जीत की लगन और मुसलसल जिद्दोजहद ही हमारी कामयाबी है। हम हैं फ्रोनक्स, भर दे उजाला जिंदगी में।
जैज़ के पास हर नीड का हल है। बस *699# मिलाओ और अपने लिए खास बनाए हुए पैकेज को अपनी सुपर पावर बनाओ।
नई स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी
बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग हो गई है भाई।
कितनी?
न्यू स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी। हर मैदान हमारा मैदान है। इस मैदान में जीत की लगन और मुसलसल जिद्दोजहद ही हमारा।
Good set. Good set.
I read a great story about Jacarali, and he said when he was a kid he used to practice his commentary because he wanted to be man and man so desperately that he wanted to learn how to answer the questions from the likes of you, Smithy.
He's got to concentrate on this cricket because this is a closed shop. No room at the inn here.
Didn't get a chance to ask him who the favourite was, but I'm sure your name would have been somewhere on a list.
Well, you asked him and then pointing at yourself, yeah.
Oh. So good, so good.
Intrigued, Smithy, just looking at Mitch Santner over the years. Probably when he first came into spin bowling, he wasn't a guy that necessarily spun the ball too much. He sort of just drifted the ball in, and I think that's been his biggest development. Is actually the amount that he's spun. I think he's spun it more than any other spinner in this competition. And you'll remember when he first came into the mix, it was very much those round arm, just darting it in, and gone quite through a significant change. I think he gets a lot more tighter and up and over in terms of action and a lot more rotation. A little learning from the IPL.
So good.
मैदान हमारा मैदान है। इस मैदान में जीत की लगन और मुसलसल जिद्दोजहद ही हमारी कामयाबी है। हम हैं फ्रोनक्स, भर दे उजाला जिंदगी में।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बालकनी शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
पाकिस्तान के जदीद तरीन प्लांट पर बनी खादें, सरसब्ज की नाइट्रोफॉस और कैन, जिनसे मिले 10% से भी ज्यादा इजाफी पैदावार। पाकिस्तान के जदीद तरीन प्लांट पर बनी खादें, सरसब्ज की नाइट्रोफॉस और कैन, जिनसे मिले 10% से भी ज्यादा इजाफी पैदावार।
Matt Henry won't make it easy.
So just looking, or continuing that point around Mitch Santner. Just look on the left as 2019 to now. He's a lot tighter, but he also gets wider and up and over that front toe. So he rotates a lot more, and we talk so much about how he holds his action back. A lot more rotation and wider. And out of the left arm orthos in this competition, he's a lot wider and a lot higher as well. And that rotation allows him to get that extra spin we've talked about. I think he's up nearly 2 degrees more spin than when he first started out.
Straight up. This should go over the top of O'Rourke, who's a big guy that can't run it. He runs it down but can't get his hands around it. So a rare show of aggression here.
So I got 6 and 7. Do you want to finish on set?
They don't need to have 6 players inside the circle, but New Zealand are hell-bent on making sure they give nothing away here. They've got 4 inside the circle on the offside. 2 of them are stopping singles, and a mid-wicket as well. They're all in the game because Bangladesh are basically bringing them into the game.
Definitely seen this wicket speed up a little bit more. that Shanto wicket where it skipped off the top of the bat, that one there as well. So maybe with those lights now starting to take a little bit more effect. That's when New Zealand won the toss and said to you, Nas, that they wanted to bowl because they felt like it was going to get better, skid on a lot more. And I guess from a batting perspective, when you look up, and we've got a brilliant view here, it's all black in front of your eyes, and we know that Matt Henry likes to pitch the ball up, skid it through, so if it is skidding, it makes it a little bit easier to actually play down the ground a lot more.
Players just saving one. It's Phillips, he's always likely to. Look at the bounce. Looking at the pitch, bounce, but variable.
It is probably because of the two-tone nature of the surface. There are grassy bits, not a lot of them, as you see the gaps that Rishad could try and find. There are not many because of what Ian Smith spoke about. One will open up now because man goes out to protect the last ball of the over. As a captain, if you've had a good over, last delivery, you protect the boundary.
Couldn't protect that one, and this time he found some timing, genuine timing. So a much needed boundary at the end of the over, which produces 7 runs. It's 172 for 6.
Yeah, I said earlier, Rishad Hussain is one.
जैज़ के पास हर नीड का हल है, बस *699# मिलाओ और अपने लिए खास बनाए हुए पैकेज को अपनी सुपर पावर बनाओ.
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स. अब बाल करी शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन.
Right, we're entering the last phase, the last power play being signalled there by umpire Damasina. And 58 for 1 was highly respectable, then it dropped away, the intent dropped away, 39 for 1 in the second, and then the third, 48 for 3 at third block of 10. That's where a lot of the damage was done. Should push for at least 2 here. Maybe even be keen enough to look for 3.
Part there as he got back into the pocket deeper in the crease to create that length to allow him to hit over the top straight. With the first one a little bit straighter from Matt Henry as well. He's going to have to bowl a few overs in the death. It's something he does a little bit, but not with as much success as he does at the start.
Keep an eye on Jake Ali, how he shuffles outside leg stump often against the left arm spinner. We saw that against India. Sometimes he stays where he is, sometimes he shuffles. Some batters use the depth in the crease, he tries to go. This will be a tempter for Santner. Whereas most spinners are quick, slow. Santner is slow, quick. And he's not afraid to toss it up to lower order batters.
He'll gamble it, he can find a little bit of poor timing here. Not sure he's found it with that one though. Just good enough. Just.
Definite intent. Rishad Hussain, last ball previous over 4. First ball from Santner that he's faced this over. The old-fashioned cow corner. Wide mid-on. Gets enough of it just.
Shorter boundary outside, he might look to bowl a little bit wider outside off.
It was just the line of it, Mitchell Santner. And he hoped he might chip it out to Michael Bracewell at point. He won't back down, Mitchell Santner, because aside from the fact that he's a very containing bowler, he loves getting wickets in one-day cricket and white ball cricket in particular. Flatter and Jamison will get safely in behind this one. last over where Bangladesh managed to get double figures in terms of runs was the 14th. They've got 12 off this. Maybe the charge is on. We'll see. 184 for 6.
जूसी टोमेटो से बना शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप। जब भी हो फ्लेवर्स की हैप्पीनेस को बढ़ाना, शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप हिलाना मस्त है।
इस क्रिकेट सीजन मैच के दौरान लाइट जाने पर अपने टीवी को तोड़ने से गुरेज करें। जोंग मंथली प्रो मैक्स प्लस लगाएं और देखें फ्री क्रिकेट ऑन माई जोंग ऐप थ्रू माइको।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बालकनी शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
Side of things. And going through, or hoping to go through the remainder of this tournament, the pressure will go on at times in the last 10 overs. This is where they've got to find an answer, New Zealand.
I think the blueprint with New Zealand and how they want to use Matt Henry, if they can get 6 overs, maybe even 7 at the top, that's what they want to then use the likes of Bracewell through the middle. Mitch Santner can bowl the death as well, but he took a little tap. I think he went over 60 against Pakistan as well. But with the bowlers to come in 8 overs after this, Santner's just got the 1 over. You've got O'Rourke, who hasn't had as much experience. Cole Jameson, 3 overs to go, who's coming back into cricket a bit more. So it might be the fact that they turn to Phillips just to try and get it underneath the bat, change a bit of pace, and whether Henry will bowl a few more overs as well.
2 right-handers at the crease. Would you risk Rachin Ravindra? Possibility to bowl an over or 2. Oh, that's a gorgeous shot. It really is. On the charge, you only get a couple, but I think it's fair to say that they've put the foot down, Bangladesh.
This is great batting, great intent with the fact that they're probably their 2 most inexperienced players. They're both non-finishers within this Bangladesh side, and they probably would have wanted maybe 8 overs in the death to be able to go for it. So they've got an extended period here to push a score that, with a strong pace bowling attack especially, to give their bowlers something under lights to try and defend against a really good New Zealand batting lineup.
It's gone fine enough for 4.
Yeah, that's the problem when you bowl short. When you bowl Yorkers and you go full, you can set a field because you know roughly where the ball's going to go. Short balls, as we've seen in the previous 2, one has been hit over extra cover for a couple, and this one has gone very fine. There is a bit of edge involved, but as a skipper, it is very difficult to set the field. This same length could be pulled, could be uppercut, could be hit over extra. That's why sides who have got good Yorker bowlers, captains enjoy. But it's something that's gone out the game. Maybe because reverse swing's gone out the game.
Just short of Santner. Just thinking from the captaincy point of view, this is probably about the only time in the innings Mitch Santner's starting to feel the heat.
And so he should. In modern one-day cricket, actually, as a captain, you're under pressure for most of the 50 overs. There is no lull. People come hard in the top, at the end, and the middle. They're not exactly knocking it around. It's only because of the opposition here, that the way they play, that finally they've put their foot to the pedal.
Nine off that over, starting to mount, 193 for 6.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ।
जब जब तुम्हें लगता है कहानी खत्म हो रही है, कहानी वहीं से तो शुरू होती है। Grown Extreme, take a fresh start.
जैज से मिले नॉन स्टॉप स्ट्रीमिंग के सुपर पावर।
तो अभी जैज की वीकली X+ ऑफर लगाओ और बेफिक्र होकर चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी देखो तमाशा पर।
कोक उठाओ, स्कैन करो, कोड के साथ डिटेल्स व्हाट्सएप करो और फ्री मैच टिकट्स या ढेरों को प्राइजेस जीतने का मौका पाओ। कोका कोला, यकीन की जीत है।
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ।
The only guy you'd bowl there is the slowest one to get away from there if you're a captain, because no one would want to bowl on that pitch in that situation. Back problems by the look of it for Jackarelli. Michael Bracewell today.
Outstanding. His accuracy for me was the most crucial point. He created pressure with dot balls and then that forced the wickets. A lot of errors across the line. Play from the Bangladesh batters. 10 overs in a row. You know you're having a good day if the ball's stuck in your hand for that period of time.
Well, 43 dot balls on a pitch that didn't spin. Just asking Tom Latham there, Mitch Santner, if he hit it. Tom Latham says, I'm not sure.
So good, Sam.
Another player, I think, who's played a lot of T20 cricket domestically, obviously different, is Kyle Jamieson, known for his tailback Yorkers when he's in form, but this is a different contest coming into international cricket. He may be your death bowler in terms of your pace, those Yorkers. I guess when you look at Matt Henry, that over, he had that field set with the leg side out, fine leg up, so his plan was very much roll his finger over, slower bouncer deliveries, hit into the bigger field, and it's not something he does a heap of, and that's very much his plan. If he doesn't get too much off the wicket, the good length delivery, it's very much a wider line and slower ball.
Well, Santner he's prepared to get hit, but he's going to make sure it's outside off stump with Richard on strike, because he's pumped them over long on. He doesn't want to bowl too straight. He's prepared to let him hit and get elevation, but he needs to make sure it's on the offside. So Will Young at deep mid-off becomes a big factor on that tactic.
Thing with his length as well, he doesn't necessarily bowl it to the area where it's nice and flat, hit over extra cover. There's always that extra bounce.
No run there. Matt Henry's too quick. Last ball of Santner's effort today, went for 60 against Pakistan. He's going to go for mid-40s here by the look of it. And Rawalpindi. A dot to finish. It's been the theme.
जब तुम्हें लगता है कहानी खत्म हो रही है, कहानी वहीं से तो शुरू होती है. Grown Extreme. Take a fresh start.
पाकिस्तान के जदीद तरीन प्लांट पर बनी खादें, सरसब्ज की नाइट्रोफॉस और कैन, जिनसे मिले 10% से भी ज्यादा इजाफी पैदावार।
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ।
जब तुम्हें लगता है कहानी खत्म हो रही है, कहानी वहीं से तो शुरू होती है. Grown Extreme. Take a fresh start.
जब बात हो अपने प्यारों की जिंदगी में रोशनी लाने की, तो फिर मेरा इंतखाब है पाकिस्तान की मोस्ट.
He's gone up. Santner after it, takes it comfortably. So Henry picks up a wicket, the 7th down for Bangladesh. And Matt Henry's first of the afternoon.
He was looking really good as well. For the first time in Bangladesh's innings post the first 10 overs, there was looking like there was a fellow at the crease that had a bit.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ।
आ गई और छा गई नेशनल की कराची खास बॉम्बे बिरयानी, कराची की सबसे बेस्ट बिरयानी।
जब जब तुम्हें लगता है कहानी खत्म हो रही है, कहानी वहीं से तो शुरू होती है। Grown Extreme, take a fresh start.
जब बात हो अपने प्यारों की जिंदगी में रोशनी लाने की, तो फिर मेरा इंतखाब है पाकिस्तान की मोस्ट रिलायबल सोलर कंपनी इन्वेरेक्स। इन्वेरेक्स, मेरा एतमाद, मेरी रिकमेंडेशन।
नई स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी
बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग हो गई है भाई।
कितनी?
न्यू स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी।
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ।
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
आ गई और छा गई नेशनल की कराची खास बॉम्बे बिरयानी, कराची की सबसे बेस्ट बिरयानी।
Yeah, and the trouble is with this innings is that it's just relied so heavily on the batters that really haven't potentially got the skill sets of the top order. You know, they really hit a full stop mark post those 10 overs, and then the wickets started to come into play, always trying to hit big balls off the last couple of balls of an over. Way too many dot balls. It's like they just hit a submerged log in their thinking and became very individualistic in their batting approach. Rather than saying, hey Simon, it's your time now, mate, to go after it. Or if the match-up is on, just finding a way to not only get the boundary, but just get off strike. Way too many dot balls. I think it's now 62%, which is below par in a tournament like this. Must be in that 50% zone.
Should have got away from Latham a little bit.
Yeah, at one stage 97 for 2, and then they lost those 3 wickets, 118 for 5. Really took it out from the Bangladesh middle order. And when you see that happening, then you need to change your plans. It's not about going and trying to take a bit of a risk and trying to hit out of trouble. Just like what Mushfiqur Rahim and Mahmood Riyad tried to do. When you lose wicket and cluster, they need to have that mindset of, okay, let's find a method of not losing a wicket for a certain period of time and look to rotate strike. Didn't happen. That's where the pressure always built up on all the batters who went in. Not taking anything away from the New Zealand bowlers, I thought they were spot on.
Callers for 2, they might get more. They will. They'll double it. 200 comes up.
One of the rare fielding mistakes that we've seen here from New Zealand have been excellent. They were so in Karachi as well against Pakistan, just able to shut down that inner circle, but then defending with their life on the outer ring as well. If it does escape the outer ring, these sort of efforts need to be better than that. They're going to go all the way in New Zealand, I'm certain of that, but they're going to need to really be tidy right to the end of this tournament.
Another dot to
आ गई और छा गई नेशनल की कराची खास बम्बे बिरयानी कराची की सबसे बेस्ट बिरयानी क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार तुम मैं एक और कप चाय मैजिक सिर्फ तब हो जब साथ सब हो कोका कोला यकीन की जीत है
जैज से मिले नॉन स्टॉप स्ट्रीमिंग के सुपर पावर
तो अभी जैज की वीकली एक्स प्लस ऑफर लगाओ और बेफिक्र होकर चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी देखो तमाशा पर
both games. 323 dot balls now in total. There was 162 dot balls bowled by New Zealand in that Pakistan game. 161 now.
It's a whole 50, it's a whole innings.
Just sneaks past the outside edge. Add another one to it. That's exactly 54 overs now, I think.
Yeah, that's just enormous pressure. Once you get yourself as a batting unit into that kind of pressure, especially considering that they have decided to have a bowl first, that's just magnificent for Mitch Santner as captain. He just knows that his men are going to school on any opposition batting lineup. They're finding a way to just create enormous pressure. And they've broken now Pakistan. They've broken Bangladesh here. Past score here, if you're to reverse engineer this, has got to be 300. It's got to be in that zone. We've seen big scores, much bigger scores, chased down already in this tournament. So after that start, whomever was at that crease should have been talking to each other and saying, look, this is how we're going to map it out. Is it you, Shanto? You're the bloke that's lasted 60, 70 balls at that stage. Is it you going, or how are you getting me on strike? Having these frank conversations that allows you to expand the upper side batting first. You can't be conservative batting first in this tournament. You've got to know that 280 plus is your total, your par score. And you've also got to understand if it's your day, you've got to go big. We've seen New Zealand in that first game against Pakistan. Will Young, he wasn't happy with 100. He just stayed there, batted it really positively, had great backup with Tommy Latham, who was brilliant.
Well, it's 4 dots to start this over as well, and no fault of Tuscan. Not his job to get the runs. Yes, he'd love to pick up a single here and there and try and get Jakar Ali back on strike, but it's not blaming Tuscan here by any stretch.
Yeah, speaking about Jakar Ali, he's playing his 7th one-day international, and he's every time he's come in to bat at number 7. He averages 60 plus with those runs, 30 or 46. I'm just thinking whether the team management or the skipper, the senior players would be asking whether he can go up the order, because whenever he does come in, the team is already in trouble. So if he can handle himself under pressure, just exactly what he did in the last match against India, 35 for 5. He came out with a knock of 60 odd with a partnership 154 with Ridoy. So why not send him up the order? Could turn out to be a good omen, because he's the one who hangs around and he relatively scores a little bit quickly than the others.
And another dot is a maiden over in the 45th.
Sunsilk Black Shine में है 5 natural oils के साथ vitamin E का super mix. अब बाल करें shine all the time with Sunsilk Black Shine.
क्रिकेट सीजन मैच के दौरान लाइट जाने पर अपने टीवी को तोड़ने से गुरेज करें. Zong Monthly Pro Max Plus लगाएं और देखें फ्री क्रिकेट on My Zong app through Myco.
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार तुम मैं एक और कप चाय
रुको छू जाती है हर अच्छी बात चल मेरे लाल
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ जिन में आओ
Early wickets, and they've put some pressure on New Zealand. I think under 250 New Zealand would be pretty happy with a bowling performance, but now they've got them in this position, they would like less.
Yeah, the trouble with that target you mentioned there, Simon Doull, is that you're kind of hoping that all things go your way. You're hoping that you blast the side away, and they're capable of doing that, Bangladesh. They've got a very good bowling unit. And then you're also hoping, especially when you look at the flags now, really there's a lot of breeze around tonight. It'll be a real tussle whether there's dew or not. If there's dew, it's definitely not enough. World-class sides in a world competition, you need to rely on a lot more than hope. You need to create your own luck in a tournament. You need to have that mindset. Hey guys, we're champions. If we're going to be anywhere near a trophy at the end of this, we've got to play like champions. What are the benchmarks? What is acceptable? We talk about strike rates often. Who are our impact players? You talk about Jacob, maybe he's your impact player. Maybe you don't need to promote him up the order, but you need to rely on the rest of your combination to do their job.
Eased down to long on. If you are playing the fantasy game, follow the prompt on the screen there. Michael Bracewell right at the top of the charts at the moment with 134 points. Shanto, Rashid Hussain and Tanzid rounding up the top 5 at this stage.
Yeah, just going on the batting of Bangladesh, I mean, if you look at someone like Tanzid Hasan Tamim, he started so well. He smashed those 2 sixes early in the innings. It looked like it was such a good pitch to bat on, and he failed to cash in. He made 24 of 24 in this match. He got a really good start in that match against India also, 25 of 25. But when you get to that stage, you got to realize what is your responsibility as the batter. Is 25 good enough? No, never. You got a good start in, cash and capitalize and play a longer inning.
Hammered over wideish long on towards the mid-wicket region, and 6, that'll feel good for Jakar Ali.
I tell you, just gave him a big rap. You want to see him maybe get up that top order. And it's these sort of shots, low at the crease, stable base, and swatted like a fly around the dinner table, over the top, all the way. Bangladesh fans will be hoping for a lot more of that. There's time still. Time for 10 plus and over. That's what it's time for. Time for 250. Can get there, then you're hoping that New Zealand somehow find a way to lose this match. They've been brilliant so far.
Callers for 2. I just wonder whether he should just take 1 and keep the strike. Tuscan's thinking the same way I am. It's a bowler's mentality, isn't it?
बॉडी का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा. चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार. तुम मैं एक और कप चाय.
Golden Pearl Beauty Cream. बात बन जाए.
सिंजेंटा इस अभियान दे फसल को फौरी तवानाई और ग़िज़ाइयत. इस अभियान है जादू का चिराग.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ.
मैजिक सिर्फ तब हो जब साथ सब हो. कोका कोला यकीन की जीत है.
A little expensive in his first few, but he's pulled it back nicely. 2 for 38 with 1 to go. Oh dear, it's got away from Latham and down to the boundary for 5 wides.
You can see right at the top of his delivery here that this was starting straight, and then of course he's got that natural angle as well. That seam position going exactly where the ball went. It's done everyone like a dinner.
Off on that occasion.
We often talk about batters being hungry. At this stage of the innings, when you've largely got through your overs, it's about also being really hungry as a bowling unit. Not making little unforced errors like the one we saw first delivery. Being up for it, being greedy on run rate, greedy on wickets even. Matt Henry's travelled a little bit in his last couple of overs. I can somehow just close this out for New Zealand here. Somehow just find a way to, much about concentration. It's a much longer format, isn't it? One-day cricket.
Swing and a miss from Tuscan. Whatever Bangladesh put on the board, chase will be so much about New Zealand top order. Another opportunity for Conway, Young coming off the back of 100 against Pakistan. Kane Williamson with that failure. Nipped out early in that Pakistan match. And the return of Rachin Ravindra as well. It's gone up and over. And 1 bounce. Or has it gone all the way? I think 1 bounce 4. Good from Tuscan.
Good intent from Tuscan Ahmed, the left-hander. Just manages to free his arms, and knowing that the fielder was inside the circle at mid-off, went over on top of that. Yeah, right from this good part of the bat. Nearly went all the way. Just 1 bounce to the fence.
Just give a little bit of hope to the likes of Mustafizur and Tuscan. Mehidy Hasan, looking forward to seeing him actually. After Ali Khan, Matthew Hayden, looking forward to watching the young man, 22 years of age, but a raw pace. A lot to look forward to. Had dinner with Phil Simmons in Dubai a week and a bit ago, and really excited about this young man without trying to put too much pressure on him either. Oh dear. Oh, he's done well there, Latham, in the end. Went away, but I still think it was wide enough. Don't know. Over to you, lads.
Over to our viewers, maybe. What do they think? Probably fair. It was just over his right shoulder. Fair ball.
Short again, swing and a miss, 10 from the over, 2-2-3 for 7.
क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय। मैजिक सिर्फ तब हो जब साथ सब हो। कोका कोला यकीन की जीत है।
ब्यूटी क्रीम बात बन जाए।
इस क्रिकेट सीजन मैच के दौरान लाइट जाने पर अपने टीवी को तोड़ने से गुरेज करें। Zong मंथली प्रो मैक्स प्लस लगाएं और देखें फ्री क्रिकेट ऑन माई Zong ऐप थ्रू माइको।
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ।
Chase to be all on. New Zealand with an opportunity to qualify. They will knock Bangladesh and Pakistan out if they can chase down whatever is required. I was asked the question earlier about Kyle Jamieson. What's different? We had to go back. Our friends downstairs have gone back to the ICC Men's World Test Championship final in 2021. So the takeoff point a lot further back. So he spends a lot more time in the air on the left of screen. And then just looking at the delivery stride, back foot a lot further behind. Nowadays it was straight behind. There was a much more of a straight line in that World Test Championship final. He's actually taking off back in 2020, 2021 from about 1.5 to 2 foot further back and spending a lot more time in the air. And now he's just skipping through the crease a little more. They'll push for 2 here. They might come back for 3, and they do. Good running. So just a little part of that protection of the back. Perhaps he doesn't feel like he can leap as high in the air. You look left of screen, look where he takes off from and how much time he spends in the air compared to the right of screen where he just skips through. He's a lot lower through the crease. And gets into, it's a reasonable position, to be honest, in both instances. But the feet are more in line on the left of screen. The back foot just goes a little bit further back on the right of screen. There's subtle little changes when you have these injuries that you don't always consciously do, but you have to feel very comfortable within your own body and trust your body that it can still do what you used to be able to.
You're never easy coming back from an injury and getting back to your old self where you want to see to get back into his original rhythm. But I'm sure it does take time, doesn't it? I mean, as a bowler, if you go through surgeries, injuries, it takes time to get yourself back in as 100% in terms of fitness, and then you got to. It does matter what you do in the practice sessions, but it's also important what you do in the match itself. Surely, the more he plays from here on, will probably get back to his original form in terms of the gather and the jump.
Straight up. Oh, he can't reach it. The big long arms couldn't get there.
It's always hard to catch something that's directly behind you. You're largely just guessing where the ball's going to be when you have to run back, turn your back on it completely. Saw a good catch from Kane Williamson early, but he had a lot more time. We've only got one ball left, Simon Dorr, but I was just curious. I mean, his fastest ball today is 137. To give our viewers some context, I wonder what his pace was then as well.
Sat back and hit that down the ground for 1-8 coming from the Jamieson.
सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन में है 5 नेचुरल ऑयल्स के साथ विटामिन ई का सुपर मिक्स। अब बाल करें शाइन ऑल द टाइम विद सनसिल्क ब्लैक शाइन।
कोक उठाओ, स्कैन करो, कोड के साथ डिटेल्स व्हाट्सएप करो और फ्री मैच टिकट्स या ढेरों को प्राइजेस जीतने का मौका पाओ। कोका कोला, यकीन की जीत है। क्रिकेट का कप आए ना आए, टपाल दानेदार का कप तो आएगा ही आएगा। चलती रहे टपाल दानेदार, तुम मैं एक और कप चाय।
टोमेटो से बना शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप। जब भी हो फ्लेवर्स की हैप्पीनेस को बढ़ाना, शंग्रीला टोमेटो केचप हिलाना मस्त है।
It's not a huge amount of international cricket, really. Pace off. Run one. It's a direct hit, and that'll be gone, I think. Latham's done well. There was a dive from Jakarali, but I think he's come up short.
Yeah, it was desperate to get him on strike.
We have a umpire review for a run out. I'm ready to make my decision.
That will be OUT. Well short of the crease here. Desperate to get back on strike, but has to go. Yeah, really good knock. Impressive knock from
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ।
आ गई और छा गई नेशनल की कराची खास बॉम्बे बिरयानी, कराची की सबसे बेस्ट बिरयानी।
जब जब तुम्हें लगता है कहानी खत्म हो रही है, कहानी वहीं से तो शुरू होती है। Grown Extreme, take a fresh start.
सिंजेंटा इस अभियान दे फसल को फौरी तवानाई और ग़िज़ाइयत। इस अभियान है जादू का चिराग।
Golden.Their sunblock block करे harmful UV rays को, also protects your skin from all digital blue light. Golden.Their sunblock. Let's go. Love your skin.
पाकिस्तान के जदीद तरीन प्लांट पर बनी खादें, सरसब्ज की नाइट्रोफॉस और कैन, जिनसे मिले 10% से भी ज्यादा इजाफी पैदावार।
Cutters that he bowls. Tries to swing that new ball. See if he can pick up a few valuable runs late in the piece, though. Probably had to go for this, Matthew Hayden. Had to try.
One of the issues, and I had a freeze frame on his backing up a little earlier in the Bangladesh innings, and wasn't a great lot of intent at the other end. Curious to see how he was backing up on that occasion as well, because oftentimes you can steal that 1 metre that he was out by just by purely intent. Edge is fine. And just pick up the 1 run. You were just doing the math. Nutter on dot balls, 175 of which you made a small calculation. What was it?
Yeah, if you're looking at those number of dot deliveries, 175, you can understand 150 dot deliveries, 25 are the singles. This is the run out. So he's not really coming out of the non-striker quickly, or not really backing up. That's why one of the reasons why he fell well short.
Under edge, another run out opportunity. No, just cleaned up.
Yeah, look at that. By the time that ball is released, he's a yard and a half behind the popping crease. Now with some intent. Even, I'm not suggesting that he should walk out of his crease, but just be in an athletic position. He was in a very stable position, barely just a stroll. He's home and hosed by a yard. See, these little things, they become part of the footprint of your game. It's a muscle memory thing. You can control that. That's something that you should be able to establish your barriers between what's taking advantage of the crease line and what's not. But time and time again, we see teams like Bangladesh just not taking care of business, so to speak. It's not necessarily going to go to your score, but it's definitely going to go to your team's score. They're really important. You manage to find yourself 5 or 6 runs, and that can be the swing in a game.
Just the one, so decent from Henry.
Sunsilk Black Shine में है 5 natural oils के साथ vitamin E का super mix. अब बाल करी shine all the time with Sunsilk Black Shine.
नई स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग हो गई है भाई। कितनी?
New stronger Pepsi.
वाटिका अनियन शैम्पू, जिसके हर ड्रॉप में है भरी नरिशिंग ऑयल्स और नेचुरल इंग्रेडिएंट्स की गुडनेस। वाटिका शैम्पू, ऑयल वाला शैम्पू।
The surface, they'll pinch one.
Shato early doors was, I thought, the most proactive player for Bangladesh. Found it pretty hard to hit down the ground, which suggests it's a bit slow, but then decided to go climb into these sort of back of a length deliveries, of which New Zealand bowlers were excellent. They mastered that kind of 6-7 metre zone. And because they also have that huge release point over 2.2 metres, it meant that he had to come up with other options. He had to manufacture his innings to suit accordingly. Pretty good job. A little slow then for mine through the middle. Needed to be a lot more reactive and proactive with his batting. We mentioned too many dot balls. We've also mentioned and highlighted potentially the running between the wickets. When sides decompress after they finish matches like today, coaching staff will look at key elements, of which some you can control and others you may not be able to control. England, for example, the other night will look and go, well, we couldn't control the dew coming in, and it was a big factor.
Down towards long off, and I say comfortably Devon Conway, but not really. There's a little juggle there, held on to it in the end. And a wicket for Kyle Jamieson.
Yeah, Taskin Ahmed trying to hit it out of the ground. Just rolling their fingers over. The slow delivery leg cutter. And in the end, pretty easy in the lead.
इस मोमेंट को अपना बनाओ, जिन में आओ।
आ गई और छा गई नेशनल की कराची खास बॉम्बे बिरयानी, कराची की सबसे बेस्ट बिरयानी।
जब जब तुम्हें लगता है कहानी खत्म हो रही है, कहानी वहीं से तो शुरू होती है। Grow on Extreme. Take a fresh start.
जब बात हो अपने प्यारों की जिंदगी में रोशनी लाने की, तो फिर मेरा इंतखाब है पाकिस्तान की मोस्ट रिलायबल सोलर कंपनी इन्वेरेक्स। इन्वेरेक्स, मेरा एतमाद, मेरी रिकमेंडेशन।
Fourth remaining. Wicket of Tuscan. Again, no fault of his own. He's trying to find the boundary late in the piece, trying to do what the batters couldn't do enough of, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly right. Safe as houses, Simon Dell.
Yeah, right. There's one benefit, though, of the reverse cup. You do get a second grab if it bobbles a little bit, if you're still got your wits about you.
I suppose the main error when you go reverse cup is that you get very hard in your hands. So if you do get a second grab at it, you often see it go quite a long way away. Look at his hands when he makes contact, they actually go down. And that's wrestled a lot of the momentum out of the ball, so it remained close, but he was dipping into the chocolate box at the end, but that little wry smile suggests that there may have been just a little glimmer of nerves. Just worth remarking that these lights are relatively low as well. Probably would have been looking up into that. Bit of breeze, you know, as well, sort of carrying towards the hands. You get a bit high on your hands. Hence why you do need to give in to the ball. When they talk about the concept of hard hands, what it means is that the hands remain at the initial point of contact to the ball. And once your body parts and your hands remain stationary, then of course the forces are actually going back towards the same direction which the ball and trajectory is. So by letting the ball hit your hands and come into your hands, you're breaking it.
Another swing and a miss. No run attempted, and a good final over from Kyle Jamieson means that Bangladesh will finish their
Best and juicy tomatoes से बना Shangri-La tomato ketchup. जब भी हो फ्लेवर्स की हैप्पीनेस को बढ़ाना, Shangri-La tomato ketchup ही लाना मस्त है.
Yeah, I agree, Simon Dool. New Zealand will be very happy with that bowling performance. Won the toss, Mitch Santner, and had no hesitation to put Bangladesh in, and backed up by some superb middle order bowling, in particular from their key man today, and that's Bracewell. 4 for 26 off his 10. That's just magic stuff. Put a real full stop. He came on in the 9th over and he bowled out, and in combination then with skipper Mitch Santner, a few overs as well from Phillips.
Yeah, did a terrific job there. The three of them are there. Phillips just a couple, but more than did his job. Santner without a wicket today, but economical. And Bracewell backing up that 1 for 38 that he got against Pakistan off 10. Was pick of the bowlers today. So 236 for 9. Shanto, the skipper, 77 off 110. But, throughout that innings, look at the scores and the balls faced next to them. There wasn't a lot of impetus in the innings. Hirodoi was 7 off 24. 13 from 14 from Miraz, went early, but Jakarali did a good job at the back end, 45 off 55. 1 for Henry, 1 for Jamieson, 4 for Bracewell, the pick of them. Rourke with 2 for 48. Santner finished his 10 overs as well. The breakdown, 6.4 off the last 10, but those middle overs, 3.9, 3.4 and 4.1. That was the biggest issue from Bangladesh's point of view from a batting effort. Time to find out a bit more about how Michael Bracewell feels. He's sidelined with Nasser Hussain.
Michael, career best bowling figures for you, and the best bowling by a New Zealand spinner in Champions Trophy history. You must be thrilled the way the ball's coming out your hand.
Yeah, it's a funny one. Once you let go of the ball, you don't really have much control what happens down the other end. And yeah, today it was my day, but it's one of those ones you sort of take the good with the bad, I guess. 4
wickets for you. You look like you had great control, but also some beautiful drift as well.
Yeah, there's a lovely wind out there. I think it's always nice to get a little bit of assistance with the wind. Coming from Wellington, I bowl in the wind a lot, so that was a gentle breeze for us today. But yeah, it's nice to be in familiar conditions with that breeze.
And as ever, not only in your spell, but throughout that 50 overs, well backed up in the field, it must be a joy to bowl with the fielders you have.
Oh, the athleticism's amazing in our group, and that's one thing that we try to do as a group is put our bodies on the deck and give to the team. So it's great to see that shining through and those opportunities getting taken.
Did they give to you? You bowled that 10 over spell and then you had to run the furthest to take the Shanto catch.
Yeah, I'm not sure what quite happened there, but I think that breeze sort of took it away from me and towards those other guys. But yeah, it's one of those ones you just got to put a name on it and try catch it.
What do you make of the pitch and conditions, and did it change in those 50 overs at all?
I'm not sure. Towards the back end it looked like it got a little bit easier, so hopefully it just slides on a little bit. But I think we saw in the power play especially, it came onto the bat really well. They got off to a great start, and we were fortunate enough to peg them back through the middle there. So hopefully we can get off to a good start like they did and continue that through.
Well, Bowl, good luck in the run chase.
Thanks, Nass. Cheers.
Thank you, Nasser. Thank you to Michael Bracewell. 4 for 26 off 10. Back-to-back good games with the ball. That's the situation facing New Zealand when Will Young and Devon Conway come out to open the batting, which we presume they will. They will require 4.74 per over. 2:37 needed to take the 2 points and guarantee qualification to the semis.